and I am part of the CNY fertility team. I'm happy to be here today. Happy Wednesday. I just want to take a few moments to honor the struggles that everyone's been going through. I know it's been a very challenging time. I've received a lot of emails and texts for people that are just really feeling at their wits' ends. And I just want to let you know that you're not alone. Okay, we are all in some version, variation of a struggle here. And today I wanted to talk about that. What are some things that you could do when you feel like you've done everything, you've tried everything? Um, I'm usually inspired by different topics from things that I read, and all of this is going to be linked on my blog, some additional resources for those of you that want further information. I'm really impressed at the quality of information that I am able to encounter. It is amazing what's available to us now. Think about your grandparents, your great grandparents. They didn't have access to all of this information, especially when it comes to things like emotional relief, trauma relief therapy. Now we can do things online. You don't necessarily have to find somebody in your area that you can go to. So I'm going to be developing those resources for you. I do encourage everybody, do as much as you possibly can in the emotional world, in the emotional realm, because remember, that's where everything begins and ends. How we feel is affecting our biology. It is. We can now prove that. And so, if you have a certain goal that you want to achieve, but if your feeling doesn't match that goal, it's going to be much more challenging to achieve it. The goal, the outcomes, whatever the word is that you're using, whatever you're trying to manifest. So, as much as we can get our feelings in alignment with what we're trying to do, I believe, and I have experienced this myself in my own life, it's much more likely that you're going to manifest that. So, there's lots of ways we can shift our emotions. You have to be honest, though. You can't just, if you're feeling depressed or angry, you can't just tell yourself that you're happy all of a sudden. You really have to kind of exorcise those negative emotions out through talk therapy, through EFT, through EMDR, through whatever, getting into nature. Allow the feelings to change on their own, so that you can get to a place where you are feeling more content. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a list of things that I read from an article from somebody who recovered from actually chronic seizure disorder that she developed later in life. And the doctors, most of the physicians she encountered, told her there was nothing that she could do. We hear this all the time. This is one of the reasons why I love working at CNY Fertility with Dr. Kiltz, because I don't think I've ever heard him say that. There's nothing left to do. There's nothing you can do. It's just not true. None of us know when we've reached our end until obviously our heartbeat stops, and then until then, there's so many different things that we can do in order to bring about change on a cellular level, on an organ level, and an emotional level. So I'm going to list the 10 things that this woman shared in the article that's going to be posted on my blog. Okay. So I like to start at the end instead of the beginning. I find it much more engaging. In case I lose you all, let's start at the end and work our way back. In case you all have to go, we'll get the good stuff out right away. So the first thing is to enjoy your relationships. I can guarantee if you're having a bad day today, chances are it's because you're focused on yourself. The more you think about yourself and your problems and your woes and what's happened to you in your life and the situation you're in, the worse your day is going to be. It really is. It's a fact. The more you can think about others, putting your focus on other people, their challenges, their struggle, what is their life like, the hardships that they've endured, especially if we're just coming off Memorial Day. Think about the people that have lost their lives, lost their children, lost their partners. It's going to help shift your perspective to allow some energy to move out of your own self and into others. The other thing that I love to do in my relationships is really show interest in your friends or the people around you. It's amazing what happens. You can really deepen your relationship with others when you're genuinely interested in their life, and what brought them to this moment and things that they may be interested in. And I know it sounds a little bit crazy to say such basic things, but it's true. So many people are stuck on their devices, head down in their own little world. We have to sort of push back against that now and open up to the world that's around us. And these are human beings. These are your friends, your tribe, people that care about you, hopefully, that are around you. So try to show some interest. The next thing is rest. Really, if you feel like you've done everything that you can, you're not getting the results that you had hoped for, let's focus on getting you to sleep better. Okay, there's all these different devices that can track our sleep. Are we getting to into REM and all of that? The Aura Ring is one. It might be a little bit pricey. I'm interested in trying it myself. Here's the thing: most of us are not sleeping great. Most of us are staying up too late. We're on our devices too late. So try to start a sleep ritual so that you're starting earlier, you're unplugging. I recently bought a device to measure the amount of electromagnetic frequencies in my room, in particular, my bedroom. And I was amazed at how much negative current is coming out of the wall when a device is plugged in. So, if there's one thing you can do to improve your health, the simplest, easiest thing you can do right now, start unplugging things around your bed. You don't need to sleep with the light plugged in or with your cell phone charging right next to you. These electromagnetic frequencies are affecting your tissue. It is. If you have chronic things that are hard to overcome, whether it's viral, candida, mold fungal, whatever, if you're not winning the battle, per se, there is something that is affecting your health, how your organs are functioning, your immune system, and we have to look at EMFs as a part of that puzzle. So unplug. I could not believe the difference in the meter reading versus the light that was plugged in next to my bed versus unplugged. So simple, easy, start unplugging. Okay, the next one, keep moving. Try to not get up and sit. I know it's easy. It's what we all want to do, especially if you caffeinate in the morning. This is the time you want to utilize the energy that you're creating with your caffeine buzz, right? Get up, get moving. I have a mini trampoline. I live in upstate New York. It's cold more than half the year, or it's raining the other half. So it can be challenging going outside. So what do I do on those days or months is I jump on the trampoline. 5 minutes of jumping moves your lymphatic system so much. This is how we get real energy and we start creating change in the body that's going to support us going forward. So, a huge fan of that. Also, cleaning the house like your grandparents and your great grandparents. They got up, clean, sweep, vacuum, mop. It's going to help when you live in a environment that's sparkly and clean and shiny. You will feel better, most likely. I know I do. So the next one is meditation. Now, that's a lofty word. Those of you that know me know I don't really use that word anymore, because when people hear the word meditation, they almost always think, well, I can't do that. I'm not doing it right. She's doing it over there and looks really peaceful. And my mind is so busy, I can't meditate. Please, all of that is not true. Okay. It looks like people are concentrating, are peaceful when they're sitting still and they're quiet. But the nature of the mind is to think. So everybody's mind is thinking, racing, moving. Awareness practice, when you sit down and you say, for the next 10 or 15 minutes, I'm going to sit and observe my mind, there's a huge benefit to that. Just watch it. Think of yourself like going to the movies, the movie of your very own mind. Praying is meditation. It certainly is a type of meditation. There's lots of different kinds of meditation out there. Try it all out. See what you like. If you're drawn to something, chances are that's what you need to do, at least for a time being. So I highly recommend it. Learning to concentrate the mind, interrupt the thoughts. We are so quick to jump to a pill or a patch or a product in order to bring about change. But a lot of times, the first layers of change are the simplest things we can do, like learning to pray for what we want, learning to interrupt the busy mind. How are you going to do that? With practice. Introducing some sound therapy into your home, into your environment. I'm amazed if I'm home alone and I don't know what to do for the next couple hours and I'm bored, not bored, but like, okay, now I don't have that much energy, but I still want to do something. If I introduce sound into my environment and I do use Spotify, there's all different kinds of healing tones and everything. It will completely change my entire evening. It is amazing. And it affects everybody in my house, probably the whole neighborhood. I have a friend, she transmits the sound frequencies outside of her house. She'll play sound in for the neighborhood. And I say, thank you. Thank you. Let's work together to raise up the vibration for everybody in our whole town, community, world, country. It's what we need. The next one, ask for help, learn to receive. I'm amazed at how many women in particular, mostly I work with women in the clinic, I encourage them to start visualizing light coming in through the crown chakra, in through the top of their head, in order to infuse their whole body with golden light, which helps to transform negativity. And it's challenging for a lot of women just to receive that. And so practice that receiving in the meditation groups that I lead. I do a couple online. What I like to do is receive in the golden light, use that light to transform anything negative or dark within the body, negativity, any stuck energy like that, transform that. And then you're exhaling out the golden light also. So we don't necessarily want to inhale gold, exhale dark. We want to transform that. We are very powerful co-creators. We can do really whatever we want in our life. We don't believe it because we don't feel it. But if you can get to that place where your body is the transformation of negativity, then we can send out the light. And then it becomes not just about us, it's about everyone. If we are literally one, I'm sure you've all heard this, we are all one. If that's true, then let's share that positive vibration for the benefit of all beings. The next one is become self-reliant. Now, the author of this story that inspired me to talk about this, was talking about it in a different way, but I've said this before. My secret mission for everyone is to become your own doctor. I know it's a lofty goal, but it's just my little secret desire that everybody begins to trust their intuition, to know ultimately what they need. I'm not saying that it's easy, but I believe that if you can start tuning in to yourself and your needs, you will be able to make the best decisions for you, whether it's nutrition, supplements. What additional practices do you need? Do you want to do LED light therapy? Do you want to do phototherapy? Do you want to do hypnosis? Almost always I ask patients in the clinic, so, what do you think caused your PCOS, endometriosis, whatever it is? Very few people know. Almost always they externalize and say, well, my doctor said this, or the nurse said that. That's not what I'm asking. I want people to just be creative, explore. What do you think caused? The work that I do is really based in root causation. What could be causing whatever imbalances are in your body? There is almost always, if not always, some cause, right? So we can be a little creative and take a look at that, what's causing it. Hydration, hydrate properly. So here's the thing about hydration. Most people are drinking enough. Let's assume that you are. The general rule of thumb is half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you want to drink 100 ounces of fluid. For every cup of caffeine or alcohol, you have to add more because they're dehydrating. So, yes, could definitely could be. So if you, what I call drink and tink, if you're drinking all day and then you pee it out, you're probably not absorbing. So we have to look at how can we do a deeper hydration so that you're not just peeing it out all day. Drinking a little bit of coconut water every day, although it is high in histamines, is very hydrating. Adding some lemon into your water or cucumber is also very hydrating. So you shouldn't be drinking and tinking all day and then still feeling thirsty. So we have to look at proper hydration. Very good question about Sarasota. I don't know. I'm not sure. That would be a question for Dr. Kiltz and the team that are in the know. But that's where we all want to go work. I can say that for sure. So, anyways, one of the theories about dehydration is that all blood clots are connected to dehydration. So, think about that. If you have fibroids or endometriosis, dysmenorrhea, painful periods, clots, think about really improving your hydration. Okay. Next one, change how you eat. Okay, so this is not what you eat. Everybody knows already what you should be eating pretty much and when. I think we've talked about that. But how? We don't talk a lot about the best way to eat. You know, if you've tried everything, why don't you turn your meal times into a little bit of a ritual, as an offering, as a practice of gratitude, as a form of meditation? Back in the 80s, probably long before any of you were really even born, I got involved with a macrobiotic eating system, and we all came together to share meals, which was really nice. And we were encouraged, everybody had to chew each bite of food 100 times. It is amazing what happens when you chew food 100 times per bite. Try it. I'm not going to tell you what happens. Find out for yourself. Next one is to avoid and eliminate toxins. That's one of my special interests. You can go to my website to download a guide about toxins and how they are affecting your fertility. It's not a matter of if, it's a fact. We want to do purification practices. You have no choice, especially if you have a history of recurring pregnancy loss, miscarriage, or a decline in egg quality. You have to do some purification practices. We are affected by heavy metals, by environmental toxins, by glyphosate. So we have to get these things out of us. Plasticizers, these are hormone disruptors. So please, and it's not that hard to include some purification practices in your daily life. And then the last thing, which was her first thing, is to develop your will. Okay, so think about developing willpower. What does that mean for you? Which areas of your life could you be a little bit more disciplined, perhaps, nicer, working towards reducing your negative emotions? The willpower in Chinese medicine is connected to the kidneys. It's the word is will. And as you may already know, the kidney bladder system is the foundation of reproduction. And so we can assume if you have goodwill, then your kidneys are functioning well. And here's my dog, Ginger. She has a lot of will. She has a lot of willpower. So remember, we want to get our feelings to match the goal. So whatever we can do to do that. So that's all. I've been rambling on enough. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your interest. Reach out to me. I promise I will do my best to respond to your emails. And remember, you can always schedule a 10-minute phone consult with me. If you want more information, we can get a lot done in 10 minutes. And that's from my website, which is up there, jenniferwaters.net.